Hi, I'm Hayley Von Trowell, and you're listening to Digging Deeper, where we cover everything from archaeology, science, the unexplained, and vanishing curators. Yes, that's the story of the curator, now ex-curator, of the 2 Point Museum, who fled the scene of the struggling institution, never to be seen again. Their disappearance was first discovered by a journalist from 2 Point Radio, hoping to discuss the museum's record low attendance and reports of rampant thievery. And in a strange way, I feel I got my answer.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to 2 Point Museum. You might be wondering why, given that most of you have probably watched the first series of this, I'm starting again. Well, it has been a long time and a lot has changed here in 2 Point Museum, and I thought better to just start over. As you might have noticed, there's been a few changes on the channel where I've been focusing mainly on one game for a longer period of time, and that is going to continue. And because I don't like to leave things unfinished, 2 Point Museum will be what my focus is now that End Zone 2 is finished. So we are now in a new museum, and we're going to have a little look around. So we know about controls and all of this sort of stuff. It's fine, we can do that. It won't take me long. That's all done. And we're just going to skip all the way through. You know, and I know, opening crates is the way to go. We have our first exhibit here, and it's going to go in. Now, obviously, I have my blueprints and everything, so a lot of stuff will be a little bit quicker. But that is our most impressive exhibit. We are generating buzz. We need to restore 2 exhibits. So we're going to bring in a brand new staff member. We'll bring in Aggie Filament, maybe. Yes, we'll go with Aggie Filament. Now, I want to try and make sure that instead of just flash hiring all of these staff members, I am on top of things. So I'm going to make sure that my staff are well trained, they are well looked after, and things go a little bit better. We're here to min-max stuff, basically, and we're here to do the best job we possibly can. So we're going to clean up those 2 exhibits. That's our monthly breakdown. It's not going to take us too long to get through this first part of the tutorial, and you will know that we have to run off and get some other stuff. But as soon as we've done that, we are going to be focusing a little bit more on singular museum development. So that maintains buzz, we know that, and we also need to get some info stands to collect knowledge. We're just going to place 2 simple info stands down here, and that will then get us some nice stuff. We've also now unlocked the banners and things like that, so we're going to stick a couple of 2-fold banners in. We do need to improve the decoration rating, and we know that we find this in here. We're going to make sure that we're doing prehistory, and we'll put some wall mounts on here, just a couple of fossils either side to make sure that everything's pretty much uniform. And there we go, that brings that buzz bonus up. And we know getting the max buzz bonus requires a couple of different things, but we are going to need to get our ticket booth first. I don't really need to go through this sort of stuff with you. We can put in these ticket booths. It does not take us long, and you can see there's some nice highlighted red backgrounds and stuff as well. I think this is mainly to tell you what the theme of these items are. So if I go over to prehistory, general, yeah, so I guess these are all different themes and stuff, and they tell us exactly what pack it's from, maybe, who knows. Anyway, we have a ticket booth now. We just need an assistant to work that ticket booth. Ideally, I want somebody who is good in tickets. Yeah, they're good. They're travel sick, but this one here, they'll get a ticket boost proficiency. They are robust, which accelerates their recovery from injuries. It's not ideal. I wonder if there's somebody else that will come in. So we can just kind of wait a little bit. You see, yeah, there's plenty of people queuing up already to go to the museum, but I want to wait for a new applicant to come in first. What have we got here? Magnus Sob, a good egg, and photographic memory. Increasing happiness of nearby colleagues is pretty good. We probably won't use the photographic memory very much, but that is a pretty decent hire, so we'll bring them in, and we just need to sell our first ticket, which will not take us long at all. So the museum, you know, as it stands, is underway and kicked off. We've also got the ambered Giga Gecko here, which we'll place down just to increase our buzz a little bit too. And as long as we are getting some donations coming in, we will be in a really decent position. So that goes in. Wonderful. What does this need? It needs to be near a hanging amber decoration. So we can sort that out very soon. We do need a security guard. boosting thief spotting, so they've got strolling surveillance, a wide field of view for security, and loyal. That's actually pretty good. And then Derek Sandwich is also a good hire, so we'll bring Derek in, and I'm also going to bring in Clarabelle Mouth as well. 2 security guards is quite a lot, but that's fine. We'll deal with that for now, and we can now send off some expeditions. We need to plan an expedition to Greasy Fields. I am going to actually have a look at who we can bring in. Now, I don't want Morris because he's got a negative trait there. Theatrical, which is for tour guides. Ooh, Gaston. That's pretty good, actually. Let's bring Gaston in. And if we just have a quick look at our current staff, I just want to have a quick look at my current experts here. Aggie was a good egg and eloquent, which improves tour guide ability, and you were theatrical, which also is good for your tour guide stuff, and a good egg. So we haven't got anybody that gets a decent boost for expeditions. Got 2 that are very loyal, that could be useful. And what's our last one that comes in? Photographic memory, Victor Eoraptor. You're good. You, then, we will just make sure that you are only doing restoration for now. And we also get a shiny sticker for our sticker book. Now we can plan our expedition to Greasy Fields, and we need to make sure that Gaston is the one who goes there. Now, the expedition map, as you will already know, for some reason for me, it's taking a fair time to load up, but we've got quite a bit to do to get ourselves caught up. We know about the expedition screen. We don't need to go through that. Now, obviously, as we get further into the game, I will be explaining some of the tutorial-based stuff and the story mode for things, but I don't really want to go too far into it. Oh, it looks like Eoraptor, they're brothers. Let's just say Victor and Gaston are brothers. And Victor will head off. We'll do a detailed expedition so that I can get a bigger survey level here. And we'll start it. He might get injured, but that's okay. And then we just need to display our new exhibit when it arrives. So let's quickly decorate some stuff here so we can get some more money coming in. They need to be near a fossil wall mold. That's fine. That's done. Prehistory decoration, they just need a bit more decorative buzz. And I think they have their boost as well. They require a dry climate. And they need to be near a donation stand, which we have. And here they need to be near a hanging amber decoration, which we do, I think, have access to. Yes, we do. So we can place the hanging amber there. That boosts up the buzz for that area. And we'll put a couple of ferns dotted around here as well. That should just take that all the way up. That gets up to 5. And a few ferns here. Maybe we'll put a... Yeah, that goes in, and then a couple more of these. There we go. Right, our expedition has returned, and we'll see what we've got. Let's open that up. We get the honeybee, so we can place that in as well. And I'm going to put that on a bit of a... Where can we place this one? We'll stick it there. Oh, wait, that's wrong. We'll just move it around. We'll place it there. What does that need? Near a fossil decal. Nice and easy. Now, the fossil decals I'm not too much of a big fan of, but it can just go down underneath the exhibit, and we'll place a couple of boulders on angles and at different locations, and then we'll put a little backdrop in there. Right, so that decorates that to a decent level, and obviously we have our staff room that we're going to need to place in, which we can do now. I have a blueprint for that, I believe, but before we do that, we are going to need to put in an info stand right here, just to make sure info is being spread out. And I think they actually need a donation stand nearby as well. That one's actually in range, so that's okay. Then we'll go to our rooms. It's saying to build a staff room. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to use my maxed staff room. There's some locked items in there. I wonder if it'll place down and not actually put those locked items in. If that is the case, then that's really good. Yeah, so the maxed out staff room is missing a few items from it that we haven't yet unlocked, but it goes up to a decoration rating of 2, and we can at least get people in. We now need to hire a janitor, and let's have a look at what we've got now. Brangelina Silver depletes toilet maintenance on use, which isn't good. We're going to get rid of that. Lauren Mountain is a half-wit and gluttonous. We don't want them. And Tony Growl, not very good either. So that leaves us at a bit of an impasse, waiting for a new janitor to come in. But we are looking pretty good so far. What have we got now? Let's have a look. 1 day for a new applicant. sunny, which increases your happiness, and require, you know, they can extinguish fires. So we'll take you. That will do for now. Right, we now have to unlock Repro and complete an expedition to Repro. So we're going to start our expedition. We can go over here, but we do need to complete another expedition to the Greasy Fields. So we'll do that first. But we do have a staff member in there who is currently healing from an injury, so we're going to leave it for now. What else? Can we get another janitor in? We've got one more day. Mechanics, delightful. Yeah, okay, Cuthbert is a good one to have. So what we can do is we can spend a bit of money and we can upgrade this item eventually. So that's something that we will do very soon once we're able to do that. But for now, we've got those 2 janitors roaming around, and that's pretty good. Let's have a look then. Well, let's get another assistant in. Angelina Latrine is robust and has photographic memory. We don't like you. We'll bring in Angelina for now, and then that will allow us to get in a second ticket booth. Donuts increase happiness. Cafeteria work increases happiness. Oh, okay. You get high on your own supply, do you? We'll hire you anyway. That'll be a pretty good one to have. And that just actually means we can bring in a second ticket booth. So I'm going to put another ticket booth in here just across the hallway from our first one. And I think that is in yep, it's in exactly the same position. Good, excellent. Right, how's our staff member doing? He is now healed, so he can head off on another expedition. We're going to have a look. It's Victor. We're also going to give him a first aid kit to prevent the injury. We'll make it detailed and off you go. And again, this all improves our knowledge of this location, so it should not take us long. Obviously, we want to unlock Repro as quickly as possible, but I might actually spend the time and really boost the knowledge of that area to 100%. We can't actually do any research yet, so we can't demolish any exhibits or remove them because we are still at that early phase of the game and still unlocking those moments. So we're going to leave that for now. We are going to slowly build our way up, unlock these to 100%. Now, the main issue that I've had in my previous playthrough is I unlocked a load of locations and points of interest because I was trying to really hurry and get these new exhibits unlocked. And what that meant was I was at a bit of a disadvantage, but we now have unlocked Repro, so that unlocks a host of new locations for us, and we can open this crate, which will probably be a different one. It is the helix fossil, so we're going to send that to our inventory for now. I think we don't actually have another helix fossil, so we can place this one in, and we'll put it right here in the middle, across from the big foot. Then if we just grab this little donation stand and place it there, we'll also grab this one and place it here. Then what does this helix fossil need? It needs to be near any prehistory decoration, and it is, yeah, it's maxed out, which is fantastic. So Repro has been unlocked. We did get away with not picking up an injury there, so we can actually go straight back to Greasy Fields, setting up another expedition, and Victor will go back out there with the first aid kit, and it will be a detailed expedition, and he will head off. And we'll just continue doing this, so this won't take us too long. We're on 25%. I think we're on 50%. We might as well take it up and get it to the next phase of that. And then we can probably go to Repro. The great thing is, doing these expeditions, we know we're going to get those 2 fossils every single time. So this little bee here and the helix fossil, and we might get increased and upgraded levels on those up to the point where they are pristine. These expeditions don't take too long at all, so they're coming back quick enough. And I hope those of you who have watched the original series don't mind the fact that I've started again. I just think it's going to be better and give the series a bit of continuity. I was leaping around from one place to the other. Oh, it's the disc fossil, which I didn't actually have, so we can place that in as well. Perfect. Right, so the disc fossil then will go in at the back here. Right there, and that gets a buzz bonus already. It needs to be near a fossil decal, so let's place one of those down. So we are, we're making some good progress already, and I think, this is probably the right thing to do. Get it back up and running and give it a really good go of it this time. Make sure that there's a bit of continuity for those of you who are watching and want to continue watching, because it's got a bit, you know, a bit stale, and you may have forgotten what was going on, and I may have been playing the game in a frustrating way, so I wanted to make sure that we got this right this time. We're going to send out another expedition. Victor will be the man to go again. He'll take a first aid kit, and it'll be a detailed expedition. Every time he does this, he's getting experience as well, which means when we finally get training, he can go straight into that and unlock some new skills, probably expedition-based skills, given the fact that if we just bring up his staff profile again, if we look at Victor, can I bring up his... No, it won't let me because he's on the expedition. So we'll just leave that for now. When he gets back, we'll have a little bit of a detailed look at him, and we can have a look at kind of maybe planning some training for him. He's on his way back, so we'll get yet another exhibit to go in here. And, you know, we're making plenty of money, so no reason why we shouldn't just stay here. What have we got now? Victor has brought us back a star fossil, which we'll put in our inventory. We already have a star fossil there, but it's not actually, it's an average star fossil. So we can actually send that one to our inventory and place the rarer one down here. There we go. Let's just make sure that that has its buzz bonuses. It does. And then we will head straight back out. Now, if you notice here, we are now at the epic level, which means our max quality can be an epic one. Victor is almost getting a level up. So again, we'll keep it on detailed and we'll send him back out. And it'll be 4 more expeditions before he's done. We could potentially sell that fossil, but I'm going to hold on to it because we will use it for research to get that star fossil looking pretty good. And I'm pretty happy with that so far. Obviously, Repro is not unlocked, and it will be a while before we unlock it. It's probably another 4 expeditions away, depending on how long it takes to fill up this bar. But once that is done, we'll be in a very, very strong position moving forward. We'll be making plenty of money, and we will certainly be in a really strong place. Now, the one kind of issue is we do have to leave this area because we have to go to a second museum and set that up, if I recall correctly. That's what we have to do. So we would have to go to the fish museum, I think it is, and get that started to then come back here. So we've unlocked another disc fossil there to go with that star fossil, and that's fine. So the next expedition just needs to go back out. And this is where the game can get a little bit, you know, a bit grindy. You just have to keep sending people out on these expeditions and bringing in money, but it's all worth it in the end. You can see we're making a fair bit of cash now, and that's looking pretty good. And what can we do? Maybe we should start planning out where we want things to go. Because obviously we're going to start getting in, when we get the workshop unlocked, we're going to have to start making some moves to create new spaces within this museum. And what I might actually do is, we've obviously got our nice little entrance there, and it comes around into this larger space. We could do with creating a staff area of some description. I don't really like to adjust the building too much. So obviously we've got these other places that we can move into and buy, other plots, but for now we only have what we've got. And my main name, there's a honeybee, and it's an epic one, and the other one we had is only a great one, so that's fantastic. Is that a thief? No, it's just a vampire, or a goth, sorry. Let's put that away, and then we'll get our new honeybee out and place that one in this location. Hopefully he has everything he needs. He needs to be near a footprint decal. Now, I don't think I have that unlocked. I think that is one that we unlocked through research. So that is something that we are going to need to keep an eye out for. So what we might actually do is we'll put this epic one away and we'll bring out the great one. Right, back on our next expedition. Let's see what we get. And again, Victor will head out with his first aid kit, and it will be a detailed expedition. But we are making some good ground. So, yes, I don't really like to, you know, I like the way that this first building is laid out. It's got a nice area to it. It's got a decent flow to it. And if we can create a little space that works nicely, that's what I would rather do than make any external adjustments. But the one thing I think I will do, because we've got this space here, I could get rid of this little fence here, and rather than have it curve inwards and reducing the space in that corridor, we'll have it curve outwards and around to increase the size that we have in there. But we can make some internal adjustments in time for our next episode. So we have a new crate. And in that one is a pristine helix fossil. Perfect. That can go straight in the inventory. Let's have a look. Where's that helix fossil? There it is. Let's put that away. And let's bring out the pristine helix fossil, which is right there, facing that way. Perfect. Gets a buzz boost. It needs to be near hanging amber, which we do have access to. I'll place one right there and another one right there. And as you can see, that gives us a really decent boost to the buzz. It gets maxed out and people are already enjoying it immensely. Wonderful. Right, so I think this expedition should bring us up to the pristine level now. We probably do need to stay here a little bit longer and do another 4 expeditions to that area, and that will max it out. Obviously, I don't think, going into the pristine level now and taking it up to 100% will do anything or benefit us even further, but I'm going to do it anyway so that we can tick off this space as complete. And it just means that when we go back, if we want to go and get these prehistory exhibits from this location, we will be guaranteed pretty much pristine exhibits every time we go. Now, obviously, with the exhibits, each one of them needs a little different thing to fulfill all of its goals and its needs to get the buzz bonuses. And it's not always guaranteed that you're going to have access to them unless you do the research. That is another star fossil of a pristine condition. So this one actually might, if I just place it down here, it needs to be near a fossil decal. So we can put this fossil decal away and bring out the next star fossil, which will go in there, and it should be next to a fossil decal. And it is maxed out. So we've already got 2 pristine exhibits. We are going to send ourselves out again. Now the honeybee, we've got it epic. The disc fossil, we've got it great. So I reckon Victor can make a couple more trips and get us pristine exhibits from the entirety of that location. And we have a little bank there set up of exhibits that we can break down through research to increase the knowledge points that we can give to our guests based on what we bring back. So I think that's a really good start for us, and I'm pretty happy with that. If we get like 2 helix fossils, which if we have a quick look, we've got 1 helix fossil, we've got 2 star fossils, another disc fossil, so they can all be broken down pretty quickly to give us the knowledge points that we need and increase the education of our guests, which gives us more money and increases the viability of our tours, and it all kind of feeds into it. And this is just stuff that I've learned from the 40 odd episodes of whatever in my first series. That is a perfectly preserved pristine honeybee. Now let's see what that thing needs. A prehistory dragonfly decoration, which I do not have by the looks of things. If I have a look at prehistory, yeah, the dragonfly probably comes along a bit later on. So let's go on another expedition. And of course, as we are doing this, we will be able to improve the science-based stuff for ourselves and unlock more decorations. So let's just have a quick look then. Where is that little tab for me? It's in enlightenment, and I don't have enlightenment unlocked yet, so we can't actually have a look at what enlightenment level I need to get to be able to place the dragonfly. And it could be that the prehistory dragonfly is actually a real-life dragonfly, given that we now have animals. And probably by the time this episode comes out, the art expansion will have been released as well. So that's something else that's been announced, and by the time this video goes out, it will have been released, because the way that my backlog is working and the way that videos are coming out, that will already have been released. So yes, then final expedition, not the final expedition, we got 1 more after this, I believe. I think this takes us up to 75%, and you really feel the lack of a second helipad when you are only able to send out 1 expedition at a time. That's another star fossil, and we don't actually need that one at all because we've already got a maxed one, so that's fine. We'll move off. Hopefully we'll get a disc fossil this time. We got 2 more expeditions to get to 100% on this. So again, you will go out there. And even though we're spending money on the expeditions, we are still making a tidy profit here, even with a slightly bloated staff. So that's fine. That's good. Now we know we have a maxed out honeybee. It's the disc fossil that we really need, because we don't have a higher level one of those. I think we've got one that we can research, and when we take this one out, we can research that, which means if we get a pristine one that can go in, we'll be fine on the research front, and all 4 of the exhibits that we can get from Greasy Fields, we'll have pristine versions of those exhibits. All we'll then need to do is the research. So we're laying in the groundwork to make our museum really good in the early stages, which means our jobs will be easier further on down the line when we want to go to more points of interest. So that's another helix fossil that we don't actually need because we have the pristine one in there. And we have a final expedition. Hopefully it's a disc fossil this time. So let's final expedition for Victor. Put the first aid kit in so he doesn't have to spend time at the staff room healing himself up. And then we can move to Repro and get another new exhibit. But if you look already, we've got 8 exhibits here in storage, just ready to go out. The honeybee, obviously, we do need to put in, but we need to be near the prehistory dragonfly. It does say it's a decoration, so it's not another exhibit. And if I just search for dragonfly, it doesn't come up. So it's obviously not something that we've got unlocked yet, which means it definitely must come with enlightenment levels, which are your knowledge points. So that's something that we do need to be aware of. And once we go to Repro, we'll be doing very much the same thing, grinding out expeditions and getting all of those exhibits. And what I'll probably do is we maybe will just keep doing that in this new episode when we come back, or we'll see what else we can do. So let's open this final crate here before we move on to Repro. It is the disc fossil. It is pristine. It is exactly what we were hoping for. So that is all 4 of those exhibits are now done. Right, where were we looking there? It was the disc fossil. It's pristine. It needs to be near any fossil, which we can definitely do. So we'll remove that disc fossil and we will place in the pristine one. Turn it around. It is near a fossil, of course, the helix fossil, and that is it. So the only pristine exhibit that we don't have from our first zone is the honeybee. We've got a pristine version of it, but we can't fulfill the buzz bonus needs for it, and that kind of leaves us at a bit of a hamstring there, so we'll leave it for now. Then we're going to go to Repro. We are going to place in Victor. We're going to give him a first aid kit, which avoids the snake bite. We've got quicksand, chance of a shortcut, but if he has survival skills, which Victor could have, if he does some training, it's also autumn, which is where the sandstorm season comes into it, but we'll give it a go. Hopefully our helicopter won't be too damaged and we can get that expedition out of the way. But Victor's on his way to get in there, and yeah, our museum's looking pretty good. Now what we can do is we can put in a few items that will help people out here. So I'm going to put some seating in, and we're going to go with the cargo benches just so that people have got somewhere to sit down and rest, chill out after a little bit of time exploring the museum. And do we have anything else we can put in? We don't have... We've got some bins, so I'll stick a bin in here. We don't have access to food items by the looks of things yet. Yeah, we don't. And we also need to reach museum level 12 to unlock the helipad. So we've got 1 bin and a couple of benches there. It just gives people somewhere to go to sit down, and we are back from Repro, so that's ended up being quite good. Hopefully our helicopter isn't damaged. I didn't pay too much attention to what was going on there. But we have another crate to open, and Victor has hit level 3. We've got the Sharpontops skeleton. Now, the Sharpontops skeleton, as you might know, is an incomplete exhibit, so we actually need to give this a little bit more time to get fully completed, and that involves us going back out there several times to expand and complete the full skeleton. So we are going to go straight back out to Repro, where there is an opportunity to get another type of fossil or skeleton, and we're just going to keep sending ourselves back out there. Perfect, right, okay, so we need $500 from donations. We need to display 5 exhibits with a level 3 decoration rating, which we've already done, and then we just need to keep heading back out to get this Sharpontops skeleton, and eventually, once you complete the skeleton, that will be pristine. We can also build our gift shop. I don't know if I have a blueprint for the gift shop. I don't. I only have a staff room, actually. Okay, so we're going to build our gift shop now, and the gift shop, I think, is going to go here. Now, this is slightly against what I was going to do, but we'll put it there, and we'll just make it a small gift shop. I'm going to put another door at the far end of the gift shop, and then we'll put a prehistory bookcase here, a general bookcase there as well, and a trinket stand, a plushie stand for prehistory, and a plushie stand for general. Oh, although I don't really want the Shadow or the Sonic plushies in there. I'll put a bin down right there. And then we'll put a big window here, a big window here, and a big window there. Maybe one by the bookshelf and one right there as well. And that does bring the decorative side of things up a little bit, but then we can further decorate it by putting in some more nice decor items. That takes it up to 5. And I'll put a fossil on the wall. Can I fit one in anywhere? There we go. Right, that definitely locks that all off. Nice. Right, so it demolishes the wall there. And then here in this space, what we can now do is we can open that up eventually. Now, we should need an assistant in that gift shop. Do I have an assistant? And what could we hire them to do? So, loyal... cafeteria work increases happiness. We don't really have anybody who can work in there right now who will give us like a definitive boost. But right now, Piper Fast is working in there and is a lord lass and a dinner lady, so that's fine. She doesn't have any training done though, so we need to be aware of that. And we can also then put in some food machines. So finally, we're able to feed people and give them something to drink. So I'm just going to bring these down to here. We'll put the Gubbins machine there and the burp machine there. We'll also then put in a cargo corner bench there and another one there, and then we'll add in a little bin right on the end there of each bench so that hopefully they don't start chucking rubbish all over the place. And we've got a crate. And what is in this one? It is another part of the Sharpontops skeleton, which is excellent. So we are going to do one final expedition, and then I will say my goodbyes for now, and we'll come back and continue these expeditions to this location. Although one more trinket stand sale should be really good for us. Let's get that done, please. Somebody buy a random trinket. There we go, done. Nice. So guests get buzz and knowledge, and then they'll leave a review. We need 10 guest reviews. Our average guest happiness needs to be above 65%. Currently, it is 94%, so that's really, really good. We might as well keep this going for a little bit longer, and I'll be pretty happy with the outcome by the end of it. Hopefully, that'll bring us up to our first star, I guess, maybe. Who knows? And yeah, then when we come back, I think maybe we can finish off our expeditions to Regrowth and see where we're at for our 1-star objectives anyway, and then we will be able to have a look at how we can plan out this museum to make it look a little bit nicer, because at the moment it's just kind of a bit of a slapdash of things being thrown down, really. What else have we got? The Boulderdillo skeleton. Now this is another one that's in pieces, so we need to build that up. So let's just put it in. I don't know why I've just left it not going in. Boulderdillo will go there, and again off to Repro. We're going to take Victor again, give him the first aid kit, and away you go. Now, over here, actually, we don't have a couple of things that we should probably put in. We need to have a look at what the Sharpontops needs to be next to, an info stand, and that needs to be near a layered rock decoration. So, again, we'll go over here. We'll make sure we've got the layered rock in. There we go. And then we can put in a couple of prehistoric tusks and bones and stuff, and that will just finish off the decoration for that space. Not quite there. There's the footprint decal that I needed for something. That's now unlocked, so that's really good. We can put an info stand in right here, and then a donation stand right here. What was it that needed the... I think it was that one, yes. So the upgraded honeybee needed to be near a footprint decal, so we put that in, and then we'll get rid of that one. We'll move this honeybee back to here, like that, and then we'll place down the footprint decal. And yes, it's not a dragonfly, it's not the maxed out one that we were hoping for, but we get the upgraded epic honeybee, and we can then, you know, we've got the ability now to get a little bit more money in from that, and we can finish off. Is that the Sharpontops one complete? Yes, it is. So Sharpontops has been complete. We've just got the Boulderdillo to do. We've unlocked the Carrion Trail, but we're not going to do that yet. We are going to stay at Regrowth, and we are going to send out another expedition. We've got 5 of 10 guest reviews, And I think this might be, once we've got this done, hopefully that'll be the last Boulderdillo skeleton piece, because that needs 2 pieces to complete the exhibit, and then we'll have completed those 2 exhibits. And what I'll do is, off camera, I might do a little bit of moving of things around, just to make this place look a little bit healthier, because it's a bit cramped and there's a lot going on, and not a lot of space. And then we can come back next time, and I'll have finished exploring Repro. We've also unlocked a few other things, including a training room, which is great. Does that then unlock my blueprint for the training room? It does. Right, so this training room is a maxed out training room that I built some time ago, and not all of the items in there do help, but I can now train an expert in survival skills. And as it happens, we're back from Repro, where we can use that. That's another Sharpontops skeleton, so it's not exactly what I want, but we do have somebody ready for training. So I think if we have a look in here, we are going to open our training menu, we're going to find our experts, and Victor will be trained in survival skills. Off you go. Right, so I think we are going to call it there. And we can just go into our photo mode and just have a little look where our museum is starting to look really nice. We've got, you know, we do need to go and get that Boulderdillo skeleton unlocked, and everything's looking pretty good. We've got a decent flow through this museum, but it could do with some decoration and expansion, and we'll do that next time. So I hope you've enjoyed the relaunch of 2 Point Museum, and I will see you for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.